The next skill that we're going to be practicing is paper sewing square corners. And so you'll see the next sample page is a box spiral. And so again, if you don't have a printer and you're fully remote so that you need to be able to print these pages at home, it's absolutely fine to take a ruler and to draw your own box spiral on the page. There's about 1.5 inches between the lines here. So when you get ready to do the square corners, and of course the purpose of this practice sheet is to learn how to turn corners on 90-degree angles when you're sewing. You can start on the inside or you can start at the outside end. It's totally up to you. It really doesn't make any difference. I'm going to start on the inside because it will give me more opportunity to demonstrate the corners since they're closer together here. So we're going to start the same way that we did with our paper sewing, which is to turn the hand wheel until the needle is at the start of the line. We'll lower our presser foot, we'll sew forward a few stitches, we'll stop and reverse to lock it in, and then we'll continue. So just like with straight lines, you can see I don't even have to hardly steer the paper really. The machine will pull it through on its own. So as I get close to the corner, just like when I was doing straight lines and I stopped before I got to the end of the line and used my hand wheel to end where I wanted, I'm going to use the hand wheel to get myself to the corner. And again, just like with the straight sewing, you may not land perfectly on the corner, but as long as you're within one stitch, that's completely reasonable. So once I get to the corner, you'll see that I've left my needle down. My needle is in the paper. And what this is doing is acting as a placeholder so that no matter how I adjust now, if my presser foot is up and I'm moving the paper around, the needle is holding my place. If this was a threaded machine with fabric in it, we could not take this and just move it wherever we wanted while the machine is threaded and we already have stitches sewn into our fabric. If we did that, when we started sewing again, we'd be very likely to have our threads tangle and lock up and create a knot and cause problems for us. So instead, what we'll do is leave the needle in to hold our place. We'll raise the presser foot. We'll turn the paper, and just remember that the paper is always going to move away from you, so wherever you want the machine to sew should be toward you. We'll lower the foot and we'll continue to sew. And you'll notice I did not backstitch there. You only backstitch at the very beginning and very end of a seam. As long as you are going continuously, you don't need to backstitch. We backstitch when we're going to actually need to take the needle out and change position. So we've come to another corner, we stopped, we used our hand wheel to get exactly to where we want to be, lift the foot, turn the paper, continue on. And we would go this way until we got to the very outside corner or outside end of the spiral. And then when we got all the way to that outside end, we would, imagine it's here, back stitch to the point we want, reverse to lock the stitch, raise the needle using the hand wheel, raise the presser foot to take the paper out. And so again, with this, what I'll be looking for, again, back stitching at the beginning and the end, and then single holes on the corners to show that you left the needle in and pivoted at that spot. If I have any concerns about how you're doing it. If you're fully remote and can't demonstrate it for me, I may ask you to send me a short video showing me how you're turning the corner. So that is the second skill, which is turning a corner. The third skill is curved lines, and that's the video that is next.